Now that my confidence is shot for the stream, I'm like triple checking everything on YouTube too, because one time I was we were streaming. I don't know what it was streaming for, but I was streaming and it said I was good on restream, but on YouTube it wasn't streaming. It just was like nothing. There was just nothing there, and
Shit.
I was like, "What the fuck?"
Shit.
So,
Wow.
anyways, all right, we're good here. We're good.
They're dropping the ball.
Yeah, they are. Okay. And chat, if you're in there right now, smash the like button, but also let me know how our audio is. If our audio starts to go shite in the middle of the stream, please tell me, because we're working with an update on Restream and it might be fucked. I don't think it is, but there's a potential that it's fucked. And if it is, I need to know. That way we can fix it. You know what I mean? So
Well, remember, so last time your audio, your mic was like, there was like a tapping like in and out.
Yep.
And it's fine now. So I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
that was.
It should be good. Okay, sweet. We got a couple people saying we're good to go. Hell yeah. Appreciate y'all. Sweet. All right, guys. Well, welcome to Tea Time with Tom in the Joyish Kingdom. We have a lot of stories today. We've got Michael Saylor stepping down from CEO of MicroStrategy, which is... I just remember...
He's actually, technically, he's stepping up.
Okay, yeah. So it's more of like a publicity stunt, because he's got not a publicity stunt, but since he's the CEO and he's been basically putting all his marbles into Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has just been not doing everything he wanted as far as his average buy-in price, he has no choice, right? Like if he knows the future of Bitcoin, that hasn't changed for sure. But he's a public company, and they're saying, hey, what the fuck? You have our money and you're buying Bitcoin. This is stupid. So he has no choice really but to kind of do something like this, in my opinion. We've got Tiffany & Co. combining with CryptoPunks and doing a little, well, not a little, a huge fucking basically fundraiser with they're paying like, what is it, 30 ETH for a necklace or something?
Yep.
It's crazy. Yeah. So they're doing that. They have Gucci partnering with ApeCoin. That's cool, I guess. Solana. I mean, that actually is kind of cool. We have Solana being hacked. We also have Solana's Magic Eden accepting ETH NFTs on their platform. So this is interesting. Solana's a very interesting character in this whole cryptocurrency world, I think. And then we have Robinhood laying off 23% of their workforce. Metaverse jobs dropping by 81%, dude. It's like, oh. But these are all things that, like, it's funny looking at all these stories. Then we have Pelosi going to Taiwan. So anyways, the interesting thing about this is that we're literally living in a recession. Like, this is what recession stuff is. Like, everything's going bad, jobs going down, companies laying off employees, because it's the reality of the recession. What are your thoughts on it?
We're nowhere near it yet.
It's just interesting for me watching all this, because it's like
we're nowhere near Max Payne yet.
Nowhere near Max Payne, but just seeing stuff like 81% drop in metaverse jobs, that's because people are like, we can't wait long enough. We don't have enough money to keep funding this. Yeah. Facebook lost millions of dollars the past couple of years to work on the metaverse, because we're not close to the metaverse, but that's what's necessary, right? It's like that's what's happening in the bear market. You have to build through it. And the problem is, when you're a public company, especially, you've got to keep shareholders happy. And that's not something that's possible in a bear market. Everyone's just pissed off all the time.
Yeah. I think we'll get into this a bit deeper, but yeah, just been speaking to a lot of people over the last like kind of week or so, and really trying to get a better, broader picture of like the macroeconomic landscape.
Yeah.
Whether it's like looking at a little bit of like technical analysis of where crypto's at, where it could be, where it should be, and then also where like the like the S&P 500 is in relation to like a bear cycle. And yeah, it's kind of it's very interesting, because I feel like the next 12 months people it's gonna hit them like a fucking tidal wave.
This is when you need to get a fucking another job here. So I'm working on a couple different deals. So we're gonna get into all these stories, but first we like to start off with me and Tom's shit that we're got going on, because that's why you guys are watching us. So with me, I'm working on two different specific deals right now, I guess you could call them. One is for a position in a company that would be a show host, which is like, that's my shit. Like, that's literally my shit. Like, the other day I watched a video. So I watched a video. This is interesting for me, because you and I are so different in this aspect. For me, podcast show host, that's the dream. For you, I remember I watched Brett's video the other day, and he's like, you got to start an agency. And I was like, that I know. There's a whole sector of content creators and business people who are like, I need to start an agency. I'm not even close to that conversation. Like, I have no interest in starting an agency. That's not what I want to do. Like, when I hear about what people are doing in an agency who work, like even Iman Gadzi, like, to hear his day in the life, I'm like, bro, that doesn't sound interesting. When I talk to Nina, she's telling me about how she's on 7 hours of calls. I'm like, dog, that's like
Oh
not what
yeah,
I
yeah.
do. And it's really important to be very aware. This is where Gary Vee's words are echoing. You got to know exactly like what you like and who you are about.
Yeah.
Because if didn't know any better, I'd be doing an agency too. And I'd be 4 months in miserable, but you'd start an agency and be fucking happy because that's what you like.
Exactly. Like, that's the one thing that I've realized over the past few weeks is that, yeah, actually how happy it does make me. And it is weird. It's like, it's the stuff that you don't enjoy. Like I love being on calls with people. I love speaking to people. I love doing brainstorming solutions, like a problem solving, coming up, speaking to different businesses, trying to come up with solutions and deals, like deal crafting. Yeah, I fucking love it. I absolutely fucking love it. But I also do love this. Like, this is also, so I feel like I'm about to step into a period where I'm going to have both. So yeah, so we've launched the Unorthodox podcast, myself and Liam.
Yeah, it's just funny. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, so we're heading into an actual studio in London on Friday morning. So we're going to be doing a studio every week, and then also like a virtual podcast as well. So yeah, really excited for that. And the aim, by the way, so when this is something that myself and Liam have been talking about a lot, is how our content strategy is going to help the efforts of our agency. So it kind of all comes together. But yeah, as you saw on my Instagram stories, my ultimate aim is the Summit Club podcast in 10 plus years time. That's what I'm excited about doing, but I'm not there yet. That's going to be like, when I start speaking to the most interesting people on earth. But at the same time, I've got some stuff in my back pocket that I've kind of done some cool shit.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun as fuck, and yeah, we have different avenues we're gonna get there. We'll both get to the top. It's just gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it happen.
Wait, are you able to tell us a little bit about your like deal or not yet?
So the only thing I know, so essentially it's like auditioning. So I'm auditioning basically, and so I sent them my first bit. I sent them a few extras just so they could get a feel for who I am. They've watched my content a little bit already, so they kind of know a little bit about me. But I just by the email they originally sent, I was like, look, I'm the most qualified. I was like, I don't care who you sent this email to. I'm the most qualified by far. I was like, I promise you I'm the most qualified. So I came in with that energy, but I basically went in and did a mock show with a mock chat, a mock everything. And I'm just like, bro, I like, there's no way anyone put in a better audition. So I basically got an email a few weeks later. They're like, hey, we want to invite you to the next round. And so they're going to, what's today? August 3rd. So I think they're going to get back to me in like a week or two.
Awesome.
But I don't know too much about it. I know it pays super well. And I know I'd just be running like a show. It's kind of like, I've seen a couple of those Twitter space shows where it's really engaging and really fun. And it's like just a bunch of stuff happening. There's giveaways over here. There's things happening. It's similar to that style. So it'd be like high energy stuff. So it'd be really interesting to me. I mean, it's kind of like, I just put that tweet out yesterday about Rogan, how he's like the UFC commentator, but then he's podcasting individually on his own. And it's very similar to that. Like, that's kind of like when I first got that email, I was like, oh shit, this is like what it is like. And then the other deal I have is a UGC content creation. Matt hooked me up. It's a company that, well, if this one goes through, it'll be with a company that works with NASA, which is funny to me because I was doing some research on the company that I'd be making content for, helping them with. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Everyone on the team has 30 years of experience working in a Fortune 500 company. And I was like, this is not normal. What I'm used to, like, I'm used to looking at NFT projects, like works for multi-million-dollar marketing corporation. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh my God. Bro, wait, so can you tell us a little bit more about, like, is this YouTube or is this TV or like what is the
I honestly, I don't know. It's a Web3 / media company, and that's all I really know about them. I don't even know where it's going to be broadcast. It might be on social media. It might be. I don't think it's on TV. I didn't actually think about it. I don't know. I have no idea. I just know it's a show host.
Was it audition video or was it just voice?
Like, it was a full. It was as if like I was doing a show. Like if you got that, you would have thought that was an actual show by the audition, because I went in with the same energy as if it was a real one. So it was kind of like an acting audition. It was really cool for me because I didn't have to act any different.
Amazing to hear, because like that is, yes, like I think you'd be a fucking find for anyone out there. So yeah, I really, whoever would get you would be extremely, extremely lucky.
Thank you, bro. I fucking hope so. That would be super exciting for me if I got to do that. But other than that, let's jump into share my screen real quick. Oh shit, are you fuck? Is this really gonna happen? Nope, no, we're good. Okay. When I did that restream thing earlier. Oh, what the fuck? Why is the
You can't say anything. You can't say anything, bro.
wait, look at this. So earlier when I was trying to fix the restream thing, it basically said like we've deleted all your information, so I had to re-input everything, and I took this photo because I was like, oh nice, the flag is now my background, but I didn't even realize that it was going to stick there. All right, fam, that's the background, I guess.
But we are today. We are out here. We are solidarity for our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Not even joking. It is a fucking shit show of the world that we live in, and yeah, like as always, the thoughts go out to you guys.
Yeah. Okay. That's what this is. You're right. You are right. That is very true. But also, yes. Okay, we're gonna move on. Anyways, yes. Shout out Ukraine. So I'm trying to think of. So we have VFriends podcast with the Discord manager tomorrow at noon PST, and then I'm hoping to get the head of business development on a few weeks as well. I was able to connect with him recently. I have the X2Y2 marketplace head of something on in a few weeks, I think, as well. And then I had the founder of Dropouts NFT. If you guys, I don't know if you guys saw that podcast. This is Dario Marini, really fucking cool dude, super high level business guy. Had a really good conversation with him. Almost went 2 hours, and we would have gone more if he didn't have a time commitment. Honestly, really amazing podcast. Got a really cool project, and I was able to get some whitelists for that. So you'll be seeing a giveaway happening soon. So make sure you're following me on Twitter, in my Discord down below if you want to be part of that. And other than that, I'm trying to think what else I've done this past few days. It hasn't been too many streams actually, but okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. How about you, Tom? Do you want to talk about Summit Club? I know you got some things coming up. We have something right after this, actually.
Yeah. So, well, what we're going to do instead, because it's been difficult to line every single motherfucker up. So,
yeah,
what we're doing, we're just going to have a hang in the Summit Labs Discord server. So, if anyone who's on here wants to come and have a just like an open chat with us, we're just going to hang out, talk about some stuff. But yeah, we've it's basically like game time for the next couple of weeks. So we're going to be getting in front of as many communities as possible. So if you're from other communities or within other communities, hopefully you'll be seeing us. But yeah, just getting the word out there. And I really I'm a massive believer that this is the fucking time to secure who you are going to spend the next 3 to 5 years with. And if you choose wisely, they will propel you in your life and your career. I fully fucking believe that. I'm as an example, I was here, nearly 10, 11 months ago. The first person that I watched when I was learning about how to trade NFTs was videos by Brett. I watched him for the last year, fully. I can't think of how many hours I watched. Same with Cade. I watched a lot of Cade stuff. But yeah, I was watching content on of Brett that he was making back 10 months ago. Then he moved on to Sebastian Georgiou's channel, who I'd been following for years, and I was like, okay, well, fuck. So for me to find myself filming with him last night, which we weren't going to talk about in too much detail, but yeah, that was an example of how by being strategic about who I spend my time with, I found myself, propelling myself forward to what my dreams were 9 months ago. I had a list of people that I wanted to collaborate with at the beginning of the year. I wrote them down on a little notepad. His fucking name was on there, as was Cade's. I've been doing daily and weekly shows with Cade for the last 30 weeks now. So yeah, it's just you Cade talks about manifestation and having goals and clear goals. But you need to fucking surround yourself by the right people.
Hell yeah, 100%. Invisible Man, that's a fat L right there, dude. He says you faded Jordy's call on Bored Ape Yacht Club. Listen.
Well, you faded his call on Bored Ape Yacht Club. What, after he bought 150 of them?
Dude, wait.
Bro.
Wait. So Tony bought 100 Bored Apes and then tried to pump his own bags. Is that what we're saying here?
That didn't happen. Tony doesn't do that. Tony, what are we saying? 100th. Is he still coming on for the 100th episode?
I want to, so I need to make it. I need to make a call for that. Also, I sent Elliot Trades a message on LinkedIn, and he saw it because he saw my profile. So he definitely.
Dude, I was Did you send him a message on LinkedIn?
I sent him a message on LinkedIn just to see what happened. I was like, hey man, like I've interviewed all these people. If I can nail any of those big three people, like Elio, Alex, Jordy, if I can nail any of them, I can get my foot into the door for all of them. But I need to. There needs to be like an equal give and take there. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. I'm more than likely going to do a review on imposters. I just did a review on what's his name, Ryan Pineda's real estate NFT that I saw you were in the space there yesterday. I'm going to do a review for them. I'm going to put in that video like basically like, do you want to do a podcast together? So that's kind of my way into most of these projects, is I offer some kind of value there with the videos. I'm hoping with Journeys, I've done a couple videos on his projects, and I think honestly, like I'm at the point with Tony's project where I'm like, dude, I'm doing you way more than you're going to do for you. Like, we're going to have a cool podcast. There's going to be a good amount of views on this episode, but it's not going to do that much for me. It's really going to do more for you. I was like, you haven't been on camera. Like, no one knows who you are. I was like, people like you and like your numbers are great, but people don't know you. And I was like, I'm offering you that platform right now. So I'm hoping I can word it in the way where he bites, and I'd be sick as fuck to get him or someone cool. I definitely want to do something cool for the 100th episode. I always do one. Like on the 50th episode, we got Frankie from SupDucks. That was really cool for me. And then one of the first, I think it might have been the first one, first podcast with a project founder was Doodles. So we're notoriously famous for getting sick guests for like big number milestones. So I'm hoping so. That'd be cool as fuck.
Dude, you've been like absolutely crushing it recently with guests, and yeah, I think it's you're doing all of the right things. I'm getting called by Liam. Should we accept it?
Yeah. Answer the call.
Hey, bro, how's it going? You're on the Tea Time show with Cade.
It's proper YouTube shit. What's up, bro?
Good afternoon, good morning. Hello to the NFT space. I hope Tom and Cade are looking after you well.
Let's fucking go. Liam says to smash the like button, everybody.
Podcast on Friday, but hey, I'll leave you guys to it. I'm going to hop in, tease you in the comments, and watch the show. Enjoy, boys.
One question: are you naked right now?
I am currently in pants, but I literally just walked through the door, so I've only just
Liam, you cannot be watching our stream with pants on, bro. I'm sorry.
I will put a hat on because the hair is...
Okay, he's putting a hat on. Okay, well, go and mutilate us in the comment section.
Let's fucking go. We love it.
All right, cheers, big boy.
Hell yeah. All right. Fuck yeah. All right, let's move on. So we'll talk about a couple of the stuff going on. All right. Can we see? Okay. So we got Tiffany & Co. selling 250 luxury pendants to CryptoPunk NFT holders. This was cool. And shout out to the boys at WGMI Media. Hopefully we're fuck. So I talked to Tia, by the way. You know Tia? Right? Yeah. Okay. So I talked to her. We're gonna try and get that meeting with Brett soon for tea time.
Awesome.
So, oh shit! I don't know if I was supposed to say that on stream. Anyways, whatever. That's all I can say. But anyways, Tiffany & Co. does this little luxury pendants with CryptoPunks. It's a 30 ETH thing going on, so this doesn't really affect anyone really, honestly, except for like people who can afford this stuff, which is not most people. And it was interesting to me because some people, I saw a couple of videos or tweets or something, and they were like, I wonder why they picked CryptoPunks. For me, I'm going to assume it's more than likely has to do with the fact that Board Club just has so much shitty news going on recently. And I feel like maybe that's just, they didn't want to jump into the space. And then the other day I saw one by Katie. She was like, it's cool that Tiffany & Co. is jumping into the NFT world, but of course they're going to pick like the top dog when they could have picked like one that supports women or like whatever. And I get what she's trying to say, but at the same time, this is a company trying to make money. They don't give a shit about that. They are trying to capitalize on the biggest name with the biggest, whoever's going to give us the biggest headline is who they're going to go with. And it's going to be punks or apes, basically. They
actually, to be completely honest, they announced a partnership about 8-9 months ago with Crypto.
Did they?
Yeah, they had you could customize a pendant if you had one. So
oh shit, okay.
This is the next kind of phase of that partnership. But yeah, this is only a good thing. I think there's a couple of interesting things about this, like few people fudding it out who don't really understand. Perhaps like this is something that I've learned in the last even in the last week about collectibles. Are you a Pokemon collector? Are you into that shit?
Bro, I got Pokemon cards, I got Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I got all the things.
You've got all of the things. So you get it. And to be completely honest, like I didn't understand where it was. I was actually seeing Liam's fucking like mini suitcase of Pokemon cards and him going through it.
He's got some?
Yeah, he's got a fucking like little like
Let's
one of those kind of like bomb-proof looking like boxes. Like
I've got some stuff, dude. I definitely got some collector stuff. I love collectibles.
Well, this is the thing. So he was, you know, pulling them out and being like, this one's worth like fucking however many bucks. And I'm like, what? And
Liam, let me get a Pokemon card, bro. Come on, the fuck. Give me Charizard, dude. Give me your rare Charizard.
He had like a fucking 10 of those.
I'm trying to think if I have any rare ones. I don't know if I have any rare Pokemon cards. I definitely got some rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are worth something. But yeah.
Well, it opened my eyes to, okay, well, this is something from like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And thinking about this really got me thinking about, okay, well, the look at the supply of CryptoPunks or the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yeah, here he is.
Do you know what PSA 9 means?
He taught me this the other day. Yeah, yeah. So I didn't. Tell the fam out there what a PSA 9 means.
So PSA 9 is, so essentially there's tiers, and you can get them. You can get the cards graded for quality and just like perfectness. And like a perfectly graded 10 Charizard is worth like millions of dollars kind of thing. It's like the cards that Logan Paul's buying. Like he's trying to go over all the PSA 10s. They're like perfect quality, perfect centering of the image. Like it's just like a perfectly quality minted Charizard would be a graded 10 Charizard or something like that. So PSA 9 is like one step below essentially. But so, I mean, the PSA 9s, honestly, there's some cards that are like PSA 8 even that have like maybe even like a scratch or something off with it. There's some that have like a weird imprint on it. Like I remember when I was trading Yu-Gi-Oh cards, there were a couple cards that were printed wrong. And so they only made like a few thousand, and then they just like stopped making them because they were fucking messed up. And so those messed up ones were worth like an exorbitant amount of money. And I had like 5 of them, I remember, worth like tens of thousands of dollars at the time. I didn't realize they were. And some kid fucking he stole them, bro. Some kid in Books A Million. I had to go pee. And I thought I could trust this kid or something. I forget what it was. For some reason, I left all my cards. All these people on Saturday mornings doing Yu-Gi-Oh would like meet up at this bookstore in the back and like trade and do duels and shit. And so I was like a middle school or something, and I had to go pee, and there was this guy there I was friends with, and I basically said something along the lines of like, hey, watch myself, I'm gonna go pee. And I went to go pee, came back, and there was like a thing going on. Like all these people were like whining, and I was like, what's going on? And he goes, some kids stole everyone's cards. And I was like, what? And then I was like, wait, where are my cards? And I look at him like, oh damn, he stole like 10,000 cards from me, like all of my cards basically. I had like a couple of decks in my pocket or something. He stole all my cards. He stole like 4 other people's, all their cards, and just walked out of the store. And I remember like we were all like freaking out. Everyone's like, oh my God, what happened? We were like trying to go to the manager. We're like, hey, we need you to like pull the tapes and like figure this out. And he's like, I can't help you. Like he didn't steal from us. And I was like,
how much would that have been worth like at the time? Like,
oh, at the time, nothing. I mean, at the time they were probably worth a few $100, like whatever I probably paid for them. Maybe a couple of the cars are worth something, but now they're worth way more. But it's still, I mean, here's the thing. I probably would have still sold them at a garage sale for $200 anyway. But the fact that this motherfucker just waltzed in and stole all these cards and walked out like no one knew, I guess, and they wouldn't pull the tapes because he didn't technically rob the store, so it was some kind of legal thing, and so they couldn't.
Dude, do you know what this is? This is the pre-blockchain equivalent
exactly,
of hacking wallets.
Exactly.
It's just a dude coming in and just being like, hey, these are mine now.
and Books A Million was OpenSea, bro. They're like, yo, help us fix this. And we're like, no. Fuck you, OpenSea.
I love it. It's the equivalent.
Oh God, yeah. So anyways, that's my story with Yu-Gi-Oh. So that left a pretty sour taste in my mouth. But anyways, so yeah, that's what happened there. We have Gucci, first major brand to accept ApeCoin payments. I'm down with this, bro. You guys know I'm a big fan of Gucci. I got a Gucci band right here. So like, actually, I'll show you in a sec. So we have Gucci.
Look at its like colorway right now. Just his whole like, doesn't it just scream Gucci? Everything about K Bergman is Gucci. Gucci baby. Yeah. So I also have a Gucci wallet thing that is beautiful. It's a limited edition one. I bought it when I was in Vegas, and there was 2 left, I think, on the shelf. And they're like, we're never making this again. And so I bought one, and I fucking love Gucci. I've always liked Gucci since I was like in high school, because it was like the expensive brand inside of that. There's like a mall with like a bunch of expensive stores, and Gucci was always like the coolest one, I thought. And so when I was like in high school, and I got one of my first paychecks, I bought these Gucci slippers. Actually, I'll wait for the I'll just show you guys after we go through the story, so I can pull up the full screen. But anyways, so they're accepting ApeCoin payments. That's cool as fuck. I like this. What do you think about this? Yeah, like massive news, great news. Yeah, just really like bullish that no matter what is happening in the market conditions, this is something that I would like to tell all of you to just take a look at and just kind of be aware of. There are so many brands right now that, at least on Twitter, Twitter's different, and it's probably because these brands understand what Twitter is to like crypto. But you look at like Lacoste, Gucci, you look at all of the biggest brands. If you go to their Twitter page, they've either got like a banner that has their like whatever their Web3 project is, or it's in their name. It's like they've changed it to something .eth, or like it's in their pinned tweet is kind of directing people towards whatever their project is or Web3 movements. The kind of curious thing that I noticed about the Tiffany's thing was that that was obviously a big kind of like project, but it wasn't on their Instagram page. Like they put it in their stories, but it wasn't like they didn't do a post. They made that nice little video, but if you go to their Instagram, their IG page, it's like it's all about the Chinese campaign that they're currently doing with like Hailey Bieber. They're kind of like it's like it didn't happen. So it just it's because some people were saying that with the Tiffany's stunt or the Tiffany's campaign, they were like, these guys have just made like 30 million or something, and then but people forget that Tiffany's do $7 billion in revenue each year. It's a pit in the ocean for them. It's nothing. Yeah. So just be aware of like all of these companies are doing this now, but they're only marketing it to us divs.
Yeah,
like the nerds. We're the only.
They realize we're in a little bubble, and they also realize that within this bubble, ApeCoin is the top, CryptoPunks is the top, and so they're like, "Look, these guys are fucking rich beyond belief. Yeah, let's make it easier for them to buy our shit. Yeah, that sounds good to me." But that's probably the only thought that goes through their head. Like Metaverse, like yeah, sure, whatever. Web3, yeah, sure, whatever. They got money. That's more than likely what they're thinking. I mean, I'm sure they care a little bit, but
like you're all it is it's PR, but at the same time, they're testing their feet in what is going to be the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fact that they are accepting ApeCoin as payments, that's actually a big move. That's a big move, and I think that's a realization that there's a link between the people that own ApeCoin and the people that probably buy Gucci stuff like Kate.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. So I'll show you. This is something I don't really talk about, I guess, because I don't really care for people to know. But I'll tell you guys. So I have this Gucci bracelet that I bought. I think this is in Vegas as well. But
I remember you showing me this. I really like it. I think
this thing is like really nice. And I remember I was sitting there and I was like, man, I didn't spend not even $1,000 at Vegas. And I was like, it was the end of this bachelor party, and I was like, man, I did really, really well. I didn't lose any money gambling. I did well. I'm about to walk out of Vegas net positive. This is cool. And I did not walk out of Vegas net positive. I walked out very negative at the very last 6 hours. I blew literally so much money. And I was like, so I bought the Gucci wallet thing. I bought this Gucci band. And I walked out much, much in the negative after that. Just literally the last couple hours in Vegas. Like there was 5 of us left out of like 15 or 20 people that were there originally. And the last couple hours we went to Chick-fil-A. And they were like, hey, man, you want to run by the Gucci store? I was like, yeah, just to check it out, not buy anything for sure. 10 minutes in, they're like buttering us up. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. So I bought one. And then these are the slippers that I bought in high school that I still have. These are my primary shoes, guys. You can see. I mean, they're definitely primary. These things are destroyed. Like absolutely destroyed. I even stuck my J's
how long have you had those for?
I've had these since I was a sophomore in high school.
How many years is that?
That's going to be 8 years almost, 7 or 8 years.
Dude, that's impressive because my slippers I bought like maybe less than a year ago and they're absolutely trashed. So it goes to show you buy quality.
High quality, very high quality. And dude, it's not like I take care of those, bro. I took those on a hiking trip. I wear those. So here's the thing. When I bought those, I was like, these are luxury, but I'm not like luxury. I wear these because it fits the brand for YouTube, right? The watch and this bracelet makes sense for my videos. It just looks cool in my videos. I don't wear this stuff. Like I wear t-shirts and sweatpants, and I don't wear these things. Like my rings I wear because I like them. But for these things, I don't wear these unless it's for a video. So I'm not like a blinged out type of person normally. So I don't wear those Gucci slippers to be like, look, I wear Gucci. I wore them because I thought they looked cool. Christian Guzman wore them as a joke. Like Logan Paul wears those same flip-flops, which is another reason I probably bought them. But he wears them intentionally in like bad situations to like show off that he doesn't need him. And so I wore those because I think they look cool, but I don't care that they're Gucci really. So I wear them everywhere. Like I'll wear those in the city, just like walking through fucking mud. I just don't care. And so they're absolutely destroyed, but they still have held for 8 years, dude. It's ridiculous.
Dude, NFT Zerk is destroying you in the comments.
Oh God, what's he saying? Hold on, bro. Walk around. Henry VIII. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. What else is he saying? How'd you? Oh Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. I mean, I love those slippers though. I no cap wear those 24/7. My landlord here makes fun of me because he's always walking around the apartment. He's like, Kate, I almost want those.
Dude, I'm gonna have to get some because like
they're clean.
For you to have them for that long and wear them for that long, and for them to be still fucking one piece.
Dude, I don't even know if they're real. I'm like 75% sure they're real. Like I bought them online. I'm like pretty sure they're from the real Gucci. I mean, if they're not, then I don't know who the fuck made them because they're
were they
$17? No, they were 400.
There you go. Then maybe they were real. Hopefully they were real.
Probably.
But I mean, who fucking cares? Who cares? You got $400 worth of like usage out of them, right? Like it
was my first ever big payment. I remember buying those and I was like, yikes, that was a lot of money.
Like, you know what? I don't know if my parents would be very happy if I had spent.
I did not tell them. It was my first real paycheck from a job. I was working at a gym, cleaning shit and like being a janitor basically. And I was like, man, I'm gonna blow this money anyway on some dumb shit like supplements. And I was like, I don't need supplements. I can just buy these one time and I'll just be able to wear these forever indefinitely. And that's what I did.
I just need some fucking medieval regal slippers from an Italian designer brand.
Every time I wear them in public, I get compliments. So I wear them sometimes if I'm not feeling confident. And
I bet.
Right. Yeah, it works, dude. I mean, people like them, and they're fucking funny. They're bright red velvet Gucci slippers. I mean, they're clean as fuck. People probably think I'm richer than I am.
I think we need to make this a Web3 YouTuber kind of like thing. I think we all need to have our pair of Henry VIII Gucci slippers.
100%. I may even upgrade those because they're really fucked up. Like inside the shoe right now has a whole lot of issues. So like if I put my foot in, it's like crumbled up toward like the top where my toes are on the inside. So they're like big time fucked up. But if I buy a new one, I'm worried I'm not gonna want to wear them everywhere because they're gonna be brand new again. Anyways, so let's move on. So Solana unicorn Magic Eden expands NFT marketplace to Ethereum. So everyone was screaming and hollering, dancing, doing weird rituals, and just so excited about Solana and Magic Eden. And then Solana gets hit with a fucking massive hack, and literally everyone has been compromised. I wasn't because I had $4 in Solana in that account, so I think they just skipped over me, to be honest. But people got fucked.
I had the same thing. I saw someone posted a video on Twitter about it, like a video joke, but being like, "Oh my god, like Solana hack! I need to go check my wallet." And then they like go into it, and they're like, "There's fuck all in it," and they're like, "Phew, thank God, it's still there."
Yeah, for me, I have a lot of art projects, NFTs, but they're all from artists within the Solana ecosystem. They're not like. It's not like I have a CryptoPunk style of project in my Solana wallet. Like they're only exclusively artists that I support that are individuals. And so they weren't really interested in those NFTs, I imagine. And plus I took out most of my money in Solana anyway. So there's like literally $4 in that account. So I was safe. I also disconnected all my wallets. So if you haven't already, if you have a Phantom wallet or whatever wallet you have for Solana, go ahead and probably move all your shit to a ledger. I need to move all my stuff to a ledger just so it's safer. Because I would be devastated if I lost those art NFTs as well. But yeah, so apparently Solana, people don't know yet what happened. So Solana got hit with this hack, and like literally everyone is being compromised here, and no one knows what happened. They have thousands and thousands of developers right now working, trying to figure out what happened. Like even individual developers who have nothing to do with Solana are trying to figure out what happened. And people have some opinions on things that might have happened, but no one actually knows what's going on. And so what started with amazing news, the Magic Eden expanding to the NFT marketplace with Ethereum, turned into some pretty salty news. And this is honestly why Solana is having such a rough time becoming anything other than Solana. Like everyone looks at Solana in the ETH world and they just laugh at them. They laugh at them, dude. And it's just a fact. That's what they do. That's what I do a little bit. I don't mean to, but I laugh at them a little bit.
Yeah, we've got an interesting time coming up with the ETH 2.0. So that we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I think it's similar to like if you're in the fitness industry, Ethereum is like Gymshark, and then everyone else is just everybody else. And I think potentially Solana could be like an Alpha Elite where they come in and swoop under and become the new ETH in a few years, and they're just kind of slowly working behind the scenes type deal. I wouldn't be surprised. I like Solana. I just think it's funny when like Solana Max just come out and say we're better than the ETH. I'm like, no, you're not, guys. If you guys have if you have any amount of transactions, your entire chain just breaks. I was like, that can't happen. That doesn't happen on ETH because they've been, oh my God, Invisible Man says Solana's been hacked. Bro, you living under a rock? What the fuck? Yeah, dude, it's been hacked. Everyone's been talking about it. Oh man. All right, here's.
So I know why. Yeah, he was. So Invisible Man has just been on a camping trip this weekend, and he came back today. So shout out to you because fair play, but check your wallet.
He says he's okay. And then I see here, people. I remember everyone was saying Solana Summer, but it was like Solana Long Bank. Do you remember this, dude? Everyone was making this video. I don't think you made a video on this. I made a video saying the opposite. I basically was like, "There's no fucking chance Solana Summer's happening." And
what do you mean? Of course I did. I fucking.
Did you make a video on it?
Not jump on the bandwagon?
Because you're going to be wrong in a few months, and then you're going to have to be that guy.
I don't care. Solana Summer, suck my dick.
But then fucking Cody on Chain. If you guys know him, he's the King Solana dude. He made a video and he was like, all the big YouTubers are out there saying Solana Summer, and he made this video and he included me in there, and I was like, Cody, what the fuck, dude? I was like, I literally didn't say that. And so I made a response on TikTok, which was funny, but no, I was like, there's no chance. This is definitely a fad. And I think actually, I forget if Brett supported it or didn't. I know at one point he said, I don't think so. I think this is just a fad. But with Solana, dude, like, there's just, I don't know what they have to do to get out of that. I think it's just the degen spirit in them. That's why people don't take them seriously. It's kind of like they're the NFTs. If we were looking at ETH as like crypto, ETH project as like crypto, Solana is like NFTs, like the more degenerate cousin of crypto. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Now here's a subject that I feel like you might be more interested than me. I think this is funny, and I think this is just like a headliner. But anyways, MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor steps down as CEO to double down on buying Bitcoin, which is the story. I don't know if that's true, to double down on buying Bitcoin, but essentially the CEO and founder of 20 years, I think, or something like that, of MicroStrategy. The guy, everyone's been talking about him. He's like this big dude who buys Bitcoin. He's a huge Bitcoin maxi. He literally tweets about Bitcoin every single day. He loves Bitcoin. He's been buying it up. And I think the reason he had to step down from the CEO position, by the way, CEO doesn't mean they do everything. CEO is a very specific position within a business structure. But he had to step down as CEO to become chief executive, which Tom told me is actually like more responsibility.
So he's so what's happened is he founded the company in 1989, which was the year after I was born. Fuck me. So it's 33 years old. 33 years old, the company, and he's been CEO since then. So what he's doing is he's actually stepping away from the CEO role and becoming the chairman. What I understand from reading the article is the idea is that they have two parts to their kind of business strategy. One is their enterprise software solutions, which is like, that's what MicroStrategy is. And then the next is just buying an ungodly amount of Bitcoin. And so Michael Saylor's been taken away. So he's going to focus on the Bitcoin acquisition strategy. The new CEO, who was the ex-president, is going to be focusing on the software stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest, that makes sense because that's basically all Michael Saylor has been fucking focused on. So the board was probably like, okay, Michael, we know you're obsessed with Bitcoin. You've bought like an absolutely like fucking biblical amount. But yeah,
dude, he's bought 100. To be specific, he's bought 130,000 Bitcoin worth about $2 million as of June 30th. But he's cumulative loss around 2 billion.
2 bill. Yeah, he's like
wait. Hold on. He has the largest stash of Bitcoin of any public company in the world. It held 130,000 Bitcoin worth about 2 billion as of June 30th, which reflects cumulative losses around 2 billion. So he's basically, his average buy-in price was I don't know what his average was total, but he bought about $10 million worth at an average of 20K per Bitcoin. So essentially, like, as a public company, you have to keep shareholders happy. And for him to be going and buying Bitcoin in a recession is not good for publicity. And I think as a CEO position, to be someone who speaks on the company and is always there for press conferences and stuff like that, they were just like, we can't have you as the CEO right now. Maybe later, but I think that's more of like a, hey, let's be smart here, because he's going to keep buying Bitcoin. It's not going to be good because Tesla just came out and said we just sold 75% of Bitcoin. That's not a good look because I don't know. More people know about Elon Musk and probably trust Elon Musk as a financial advisor, even though he's not, than Michael Saylor. And if they see Tesla and Elon dumping Bitcoin, they're going to think Michael Saylor is fucking an idiot, and they're going to take their money out of MicroStrategy stock, which is going to plunge their fucking valuation down even more. And I think this is more of like, hey, we need to do this if you're going to keep buying Bitcoin. And nothing changes. Like I remember when Journey Crypto was covering this, and he was basically saying Michael Saylor believes in the future of cryptocurrency. He's going to keep buying Bitcoin no matter what. And this is what we're seeing here. He's continuing to buy in at massive losses and just kind of be like, look, we just got to hold this stuff. It's going to come back up. There's no difference if you don't sell it. It's just going to be like, how long can these companies stay afloat? We just saw, so we're going to talk about this in a second as well, Robinhood laying off 23% of the workforce. We saw OpenSea laying off people. Metaverse jobs have dropped 81%. So how long can these companies stay afloat working on the metaverse if we're not going to see anything of the metaverse for another few years, you know?
Yeah. This is, it's going to be the next 12 months are going to be very, very interesting. We're going to see a huge amount of volatility. We're going to see a ton of companies go bankrupt. We're going to see the housing market fucking collapse. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. But yeah, you're right. This is just a PR push for them. But it's a very, very like interesting time that we're about to go through.
Yeah, man. All the big companies have been working in the metaverse for a while now, but as they can't afford it, dude. It's fucking expensive for one to do it, and then it's expensive to keep them hired because they're hiring the best people, so they're paying the premium to have these people work on it, and everyone's getting fucked basically left, right, up, and down. And so like shit, we can't keep all these people on, which sucks because in a bull market / okay market, you can roll with that. Like that's fine. But in a market where we're like fucking full on recession, we have Nancy Pelosi jumping into Taiwan territory, which is, you know, China says this is an infringement on our boundaries, essentially. And China's like, we're going to go to war, essentially. And so people are panicking that World War III is going to happen because Nancy Pelosi is running over to Taiwan because we will not abandon Taiwan, which that's noble. And that's very, patriotic American style. Like we said, we're going to do this, but I feel like this is almost like picking and choosing battles. Like I know there's other chances and other situations where we've turned our back on someone, even though we had an agreement with them from 25 years ago. And this is just one where Nancy Pelosi said, hey, we have an agreement with Taiwan. We told them that we would let them be as, like we would help them. I don't want to put words in their mouth. Let me see if I can find the exact quote here. Essentially they just don't want to abandon Taiwan. And that's noble, but I know there are situations where we've abandoned other countries that we've made things with. So I don't know how much I don't know how important this is, but China's not so happy about it. So they've been doing test runs of military missile shit literally right by Nancy Pelosi. Yeah. And half of Twitter is like, please hit her, please hit her, please hit her. So it's like, it's rough, dude. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, metaverse jobs are down. Robinhood lays off 23%. What do you think about this, by the way? These are real companies now. We're not talking about a company fully focused on crypto. Robinhood is a company that works with stocks and traditional finance, and even offering like retirement plans investing. Like this isn't just some crypto company. Robinhood's a legitimate company, and they're laying off a quarter of their staff.
Yeah, this is like companies are going to use like anything. Any kind of anything that they can to like place blame on like laying people off. This is just what happens during like a recession period when in a kind of a retraction period. But yeah, I personally I feel like this isn't even the start.
Is it possible that Robinhood's taking an L here and not other crypto exchanges because they were kind of the king of the meme stocks, like the one click invest, and people are like, wait, that's not what we're doing now. Like no one who's thinking one click invest, I bought $6 worth of whatever stock is investing right now. It's not those people investing in the market. It's all the kings, all the people who have millions of dollars to invest. Yeah. People with multiple jobs, streams of income coming in, say, I've got extra money, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to dollar cost my way into the market. That's not who Robinhood was like prioritizing their focus and their audience on. And that's where audience creation is important, because all their fucking audience is a bunch of idiots and kids, basically. Me, people who bought Dogecoin at like a 20th of a cent or whatever it was like 3 years ago. That's the people they've been targeting. And those are the people that are gone right now. We're not investing, right? So
yeah, absolutely. So like you're completely right. Like people, they were like a ton of people will have liquidated all of their kind of like positions. Like I remember a couple of years ago, I moved all of my stuff out of, it wasn't Robinhood, but it was a similar type of company into crypto, and just as a punt. And that was how I first got into crypto. But yeah, it's just this is going to be a painful time. I fucking hate Robinhood. I think what they did with GameStop was like
fucked.
Absolutely fucked.
I took all my money out. I've never used Robinhood since.
Yeah,
I'm just keeping them on my
never,
phone for tax
fucking
reasons. Yeah, I've
never
got to
fucking use them.
Yeah, I'm only keeping them on. Same with Voyager. I kept Voyager on my phone because of taxes next year. Like I'm gonna need to use them. Like I sold some things for a loss because I was like, I can't keep this here. Like I literally cannot keep this on my Voyager app because they're gonna go down under. And so that was 2 weeks before they went bankrupt basically. And so I pulled out my money there. I was able to get my cash out of there, but I took all my money out and I just kept the app on there because I'm gonna have to use that for. They better fucking send me because I took losses there. I'm like, if Voyager like goes down and just like disappears and I can't use that as a tax write for me, that sucks so bad. So anyways, okay, so we have Robinhood laying off. We have Michael Saylor dropping off the CEO position. We have Metaverse jobs down bad. We have Pelosi doing the thing. We have I sent you this, Tom. We can talk about Dan's comment on Elon as well. I sent you this about what's his name? Andre Jick talking about how this new world currency is a thing. And I saw multiple actually finance people on TikTok and YouTube talking about this video that we pulled up on the stream last week. So we were the first to talk about it, fam. If you guys are watching Tea Time, we are always first because we're fucking the best. And we brought up that video and we alluded to that original Ray Dalio video. Did you watch that video?
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think about it?
Like I mean, I actually can't remember what it was about.
So Tom did not watch the video, guys. Have you seen that LeBron clip? He was like, did you read the book? And he goes, I read the book. What's your favorite part? Man, everything.
The bit about the book. Yeah. I watched 2 Ray Dalio things last week. But, I also got me confused with I saw an interview with the guy from I completely forget his name, but I get them confused. They both have short names. They're investors. But I saw a video on LinkedIn. So
it was the documentary style where he outlined empires going up and down and crashing and like typical.
Oh, fuck, yes, yeah, of course, yeah. Shit, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for. There you go. I need reminding.
So what do you have any thoughts about it? Like I thought it was fucking crazy when he brought it up and kind of outlined how it happened. Because I'm also reading a book right now, guys. If you like books about stuff that's interesting, you should read this book. It's called Fooled by Randomness. This was prescribed to me by another book I read that was
awesome.
Really good. So this is a book about the hidden role of chance in your life. Like how much is chance? How much of things that happen do we say is chance but isn't chance? And how much is that we say isn't? And it's a really interesting video of like people who make it and then try and figure out how they did it when most of the time it was just a bunch of random shit that happened. It's very fucking interesting for me to read. Like it's one of the only books that I can, every time I look at it, I kind of want to open it. So what are your thoughts?
What about the book?
No, sorry. Just about the idea of, actually, no, there was a point right before I brought up the book. What were we talking about right before? We were mentioning about Ray Dalio.
Ray Dalio.
Yeah. What do you think about the empires crashing and burning and then coming back and like the ideas of that? And
so there's a couple of things here. Like I've been thinking about this a lot actually, since watching that the last couple of weeks, and also everything that's going on. Like, it's so easy for us to just kind of forget that I'll totally say that I'm a kind of not a victim of this, but when you kind of like are focused on your life, you kind of are blinded to everything that's going on. I've been doing a lot of reading about the macroeconomic landscape and where things are going, kind of some of the interesting shifts that's happening in kind of like in America, to be honest. So shifting of powers from different economic power, like superpowers. So there's a prediction that there's going to be a shift in superpowers from America over to India. So there's going to be India and China, and this is coincided with the like decreasing value of the dollar. There's some suggestions that there's going to be anarchy in America within the next 20 years. And the way things are going, this is really fucking smart people talking about this as well.
Yeah.
And if you look at history, So the British, like this dumbass country, we were kind of like this this global powerhouse all the way through the kind of 1700s, 1800s, and 1900s, and then the power shifted to America. So we had this era which was like post-British era, but then went into the American dominance era. But before that, we had like the Dutch power era. We've had like some French kind of movement of power. It would be fucking stupid to say that there isn't going to be a more power shift in the future. Yeah. And I think it's very easy for us, like as everyday people, just to be like, it's going to stay the same. Like America's going to be the best. The UK is going to be the best. And yet over the last 10, 20 years, the rise of like India as a superpower has been fucking like exponential.
But we don't know about it because in America, they're not going to talk about that, bro. They're not going to say, hey, by the way, like our country is going to shit and everyone else is passing us. They're not going to make a post that says anything close to that. So we're not going to think about it until it's 10 years into it. You know what I mean?
It was, well, yeah. So I've just seen Dan's comment. Like he summed it up perfectly.
Yeah,
so
pull it up.
The golden ages of societies last around 300 years. America is about to expire as far as our golden age. We've been a golden age since our founding. Scary stuff. So completely agree. Like that's what all the signs are suggesting, is that we're moving to a potentially like a post-American dominance era. I think with all these things, I think we always think this means the world's going to end. For us as individuals, I think you still have to remind yourself that like if you look after yourself, you focus on yourself, like becoming the most skilled, most kind of dominant version of yourself, you're fine. But like at least you have to be aware of how that could impact your life. Like the rise of cost, like inflation at the moment is crazy, and I think it's going to make life very, very hard next year. I mean, there was a really crazy headline yesterday that came out. So like BP, British Petroleum, like the last few months, they've had their second highest profit quarter of all time in their history. Like off the back of like households having the highest energy bills that there's ever been. Yeah, these fuckers are pulling in the biggest profits they've ever seen.
As always.
They're saying they're just reinvesting it back into like sustainable energy. But yeah, it's kind of it's fucked up. It's fucked up. So we're about to go into a very interesting period. But yeah, I think just be aware of like macroeconomic landscapes. Russia and China, they are getting strong. They're getting very strong.
Russia, China, and India have, for people who don't know, if you haven't watched last week's episode of Tea Time, China, Russia, India, South Africa, and Brazil partnered up to make this new world reserve currency. If you don't know these are like huge fucking countries, massive countries with a ridiculous amount of money, and they've partnered up. And everyone, I saw a bunch of comments saying this happens all the time. Like they always say this, but we're at a very pivotal point, fam, with the USA shitting itself left, right, and sideways every other day. And just the state of the world right now, in some ways, we've never lived in a better period of time. I think as an individual, that's true. This is the best period of time. I forget who's, it might have been Gary Vee. This is the best time in the history of humanity to be a human. That's true. I believe that. There's so much opportunity. It's ridiculous. But as a conglomerate, as a government, as countries and being run and stuff like that, this is where things fall apart. As individuals get bigger, as small, like private companies almost, if you will, are starting to grow in power and get a bigger voice, and people are starting to lose their trust in the governments because they're all scripted. Everything they say is scripted. Every time some big announcement comes out and Joe Biden goes on TV, he just gets made fun of the whole time. And I'm like, yikes. You know, that's kind of weird to me. And I put out a tweet the other day. I think we talked about this last week on Tea Time. I was like, I'm no joke looking at international places right now. Like, not even a little bit. This is very much on my mind to get out. I love Seattle. I love Seattle. I walked out today in a hoodie and sweatpants because it was 60 degrees outside. It's amazing. I love this city. But, you know, if an opportunity for me comes to move out into Europe somewhere or Bali, I'm going, dude. I'm going, and I'm going to figure out a way to live there indefinitely. Same with Canada. I'm actually looking at Canada because Washington's amazing, but it still ain't cold enough, bro. Like I haven't been here in the winter, so I will say that, but I don't know, dude. I really fuck with the cold, and Canada's right there, bro.
Dude, I think the fact that you're thinking about this stuff is really important. And you know, we now live in. So to your point about we're living in a time when like life expectancy is the best it's ever been. Healthcare is the best it's ever been. Although, yeah, cynically, I would say the US, I think, gets sold a lie that the healthcare is the best in the world there, when the truth is it's a fucking demonic system that you guys have.
Dude, I did a college entire project on our healthcare system. It's fucked. I did a full project on it, guys.
Do you guys, because it's very, I'm very aware of it when I go there, and just seeing how much of an impact it has on just society, whether it's like advertisements, just the fact that, you know, like I saw, so one of my favorite YouTubers is like, this is, do you know Max Tuning? Like the guy who hangs out. Yeah.
Do I know Max Tuning?
Well, I don't know if you fuck with him, because he's a bit of he's a funny character, right? Like I love him. Like classic.
I've been watching him for years.
Yeah, so same, right? He was one of the first people that I watched like religiously, but he just went and had a stomach ulcer a couple of weeks ago.
I saw that video.
It was, and he was in the hospital, and you know, he's clearly always been very financially kind of he always talks about like saving money and like being very careful with his money. And it was really sad to see that when he was in the hospital, he was like, you know, he was like pointing at the IV in his arm, being like, oh, this is like $500, and he's like talking about all of you know, his mind wasn't on getting better, it was on the racking of like expenses on his medical bill. And this guy who's fucking wealthy enough to pay for all these medical bills, not a problem. And it's really like, it's fucking weird. It's because most other countries, they don't have that. They get fixed up, they have
it's fucked. I go to the doctor if I'm bleeding out. That's the only reason I'll go to a doctor, because I'm not paying their fucking copay. It's ridiculous. Like, okay, $400. I'm like, bro, you told me to get ibuprofen. That's the only thing that happened in this thing. You want me to pay $400. And same with like, dude, even fucking like dental care. I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, this shit is mad expensive. Like, I just don't get it. I'm like, why is everything so expensive? And like, we're in a situation, I just recorded this TikTok, which is going to get a bunch of flack because I made it a little bit more like a controversial statement. I didn't, obviously, when you make a statement or you make a TikTok that's only going to be explained in a 20-second video, you're not going to be able to hit all the details. So I essentially said there's two options in life. You're either surviving or you're trying to win. There's not really an in-between. You either are literally surviving and you don't have food on the table and your next paycheck is going to determine whether or not you can eat, or you're just in a shitty situation trying to get out of trying to get to a less shittier situation, but you're not trying to survive. And there's the only two mentalities. You're either doing one or the other. And if you're trying to survive, that's a very different story than you just trying to get better and win. And if you're in a shitty situation, you have mental issues, you can't get a job, whatever, that's one thing. But if you literally can't afford food and you've got $9 in your bank account, you don't even have an apartment, you're homeless in the street, that's a very different situation. And in my situation right now with like the healthcare, with doctors, like I have an apartment here, I have food here, I have like a hoodie, like I'm, you know, in some ways I'm like sitting there, I'm like, bruh, like I could have so much better. I should be doing so much more. But at the same time, I'm way better off than I would say 95% of people on earth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, like, I don't know.
That's definitely something. And this is where the traveling aspect really is super important ideally in your like 20s, like whether it's going to Bali, whether it's going and living in different cultures, and just putting yourself and taking yourself out of what you're used to and what you grew up with and what you're comfortable with. Just opening your eyes to like the many different colors of life, and how the fact that we do have it so good. Because I'm the same as you, man. I'm always like, oh, I wish you kind of have this like, oh, like one day I'll have this, or, you know, at some point I'll have this. And that is true. But we also know that we see so many people talk about how when they get there, it's like not about that. You know, they realize they buy the fucking expensive car and it you know, they realize it was a mistake.
Yeah.
Like they didn't like the car in the first place. And it was like, they were excited about it for, you know, the period going up to it. And then they get it and it's like, oh, what's the next thing? So it's the best way to do that is to unlock that kind of gratitude element, is really just going and experiencing other cultures. And so you're on the right track, man. I think like with what you're building and the kind of the brand, with like the whole brand of the George Kingdom, I think it fits so well. Going and just experiencing other shit, showing people what else is out there, and kind of getting away from this dream that the places like the US, the UK, all these kind of countries that would be considered like, you know, really decent is there are other countries that are incredible. And there are other countries which it's tough, like life is tough. And that's the one thing that I wish I could remind myself in a more like obvious way, by like going and fucking experiencing it and feeling that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. And if you're watching this video, one, you should smash the like button. But also, if you're watching this video, you're probably not trying to survive because you have time to watch a YouTube video. You've got a phone probably or a laptop that you're watching on, and so it is important to be to practice gratitude as much as you can. Like every day, I wake up and I force myself to have like mantras that I just say throughout my head, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'm so grateful for this," or "I'm just glad I'm here. I'm glad I have an apartment," and I just make sure that that's in my head multiple times a day. Otherwise, you won't think about it. And if you don't think about it, you're not going to be grateful. And so the two things that I've worked on that I think are a foolproof way for like satisfaction in life is that I'm just making sure that my day-to-day stuff and my tasks throughout the day are things that I enjoy. So even when I inevitably have a bigger home, have more stuff or whatever it's going to be, a better studio, better equipment, nothing will change that much about what I'm doing. And so as long as I'm feeling satisfaction there, doing streams, making videos, editing videos, collaborating, doing whatever it is, like I'm still having fun there. Even when I have more money and more stuff, that will not really change. And that's what I'm trying to make sure I do. I'm trying to set it up to where I draw happiness from doing a live stream and then posting a cool video or researching a video. Like that's where I find the happiness. It's not going to be from having a bigger house. I just like having more room. That's the only reason I want a bigger house.
You're like, I totally relate to that. I'm the exact same. Like, yeah, even my girlfriend's house like is fucking way bigger than mine, and I'm really? Like in her room the other day. I was like, this is really nice, but you know, it just is what it is. But like, I saw a really cool video. I think this morning it was a guy called Andrew Huberman. I think
love that guy.
Yeah, like an awesome guy who's kind of he's a physician, but he's all about kind of optimization of like the human body. And he was talking about how basically the biggest superpower that you can tap into is the ability to get dopamine, a dopamine release from doing like hard work and putting in effort. And that really is the differentiator between the people that succeed and make it. And it's like the reality of like Gary V, you know, the guy clearly just fucking, you know, we talk about like the grind set and just hustle life. And it's to people like that, to us, it feels good. Mm-hmm. Like why would we? It's because it feels fucking good. And I said this the other day on Twitter. I was like, the hustle culture gets vilified, and I'm like, but
it's for people who don't like the hustle. Like they don't actually like doing it.
We signed up for it, and we do it because we love it. It's when you wake up in the morning and you're excited to do what you're planning to do that day. How can you know that's amazing? The one thing that I did say about that was the kind of because there is a risk with this that you do go through periods of like you go through cycles of pushing yourself to a limit,
and that's in every carear though, you know, like that's in everything.
Every career. The thing is when it's not in your control and you're working for someone else, it can feel so overwhelming because you feel like you cannot escape. When you do it for yourself, you know that you can take the foot off the throttle, but you're you know it only impacts you. Like you're not going to get fucking like barked at by a manager or something. So it's a really unique. I was thinking about this a lot actually. The kind of the entrepreneurial way, which is definitely not for most people. It is fucking savage.
And it's more important to be grateful in this situation because we don't have a boss yelling at you. You have to. When like it's hard for me sometimes, like I'll be filming at like 10 o'clock at night because I put it off all day kind of thing sometimes. And when I'm filming, after I'm done, I'm like, why the fuck didn't I do that 5 hours ago? I like filming. Like that was great. I wish I'd done that 5 hours ago. So now I could edit this video, but now it's midnight and I don't have time to edit this video and I just waste all this time. And it's important to like not get, I get upset in the sense that I'm like, okay, like don't do that again. Like let's try and break that habit. But also like, be grateful that you have the choice and you're not going to get shit on if you don't decide to do something because you can work for yourself. So it's important to be like grateful for the fact that I do have that chance. And so I'll also say videos that help me and reinforce this mindset. Like I'll play one here. I'll just find videos on TikTok that I fuck with and I'll just save them to my phone and I'll watch them every now and then. Like most of the time I don't watch them, but
wait, is that me?
No. This is an older, balder version. It might be you.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No.
That's definitely
I don't
me.
think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard.
So yeah, it's just one of those things. You just have to do it anyway, even if you don't feel like doing it. If you look on paper and you say, what did I do yesterday? In regards to like, okay, what do I want to be and what did I do yesterday? If you can put it on paper and say, okay, I didn't feel like I was productive yesterday and I didn't like doing anything I did yesterday, but I still grinded out 2 videos, edited 3 videos, and got 6 different TikToks filmed and edited. So I did do something that's exactly in line with what I'm doing. So I'm actually not a piece of shit. And doing those things and reinforcing that mindset keeps me alive.
One day we're gonna have to. I can't wait till we have a film crew just recording you 24/7. It's gonna be like people are gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, damn, this kid wastes how much time scrolling on TikTok?
I do wonder that. I'm like, I don't understand how you are able to do so much output yet still fucking.
Do you know? Okay, do you know? I forget who said this, but you can get a lot of shit done in a small condensed amount of time. And my issue is I can get a lot of stuff done in a very small amount of time. So that means it's really hard for me because if I focus all my day on doing stuff, I would have 6 months worth of content in 2 weeks, kind of thing. Like I can put out a lot of content. The issue is since I can fit a lot of information, or I can do a lot of stuff in 2 hours. I'll put off a lot of shit for 8 hours and I'll just do a bunch of small little menial tasks that don't really need to be done.
Got you.
And I'll fool myself because at the end of the day, I'll still get it done. And I'm like, oh God, why didn't I just do all of it all day? I would have gotten so much more done. I wouldn't always be feeling like I'm behind because I just wouldn't be behind.
I'm with you, but I've decided to like not beat myself up for that. Like, I think that there's a really cool book called Deep Work, which is about that getting into like into the zone. And so my favorite thing is putting my headphones on and doing like either like writing or scripting or doing something where I can put on like a YouTube fucking music thing and just listen to it for like 3 hours, and I will just absolutely murder what I'm doing because there's no distractions.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah, and it's a fucking cool feeling. But I found that as much as I can do that, I can only do that once a day. Like sadly, as much as I love it, even though it feels effortless when you're doing it, afterwards your brain is done.
Well, for me, it's the fact that like all my stuff is reliant on social media, and it's so hard once you just jump on real quick to do something, to see another notification or a post. You're like, well, I should read this. Like, it makes sense for me to read this. I got to know. And then you're 50 minutes later, you're like, shit, I just went on to 6 different apps and I was supposed to just do one thing on Twitter. And now I'm like an hour in. And honestly, like, do you know Lex Fridman?
Yeah.
Podcaster. So he does this. He does that where he does like dedicated deep work. 2 sessions. He does 2 4-hour sessions. I could do 1 3-hour session probably, but that's probably my max. Because my issue is I post so much on TikTok that every hour or so I'm interrupted because I got to post.
This is why I asked about. I was like, how do you post you posting on TikTok every hour? I'm like, how?
Multiple usually. I waste time. I'll be in the middle of something. Sometimes I can do it. I'll just go, I'll post it. It's going to be contingent on the first video. If the first video that pops up on the For You page before I click post is something good and I watch it, it's over, bro. I'll watch 7, then I'll post something, and while it's loading, I'll watch 7 more, and then 2 hours later, I'm like, oh, I forgot to post on Instagram, and then I'll go and post on Instagram, and then I'm like, I go back to TikTok, there's a notification, I'll look at the notification, and then it just repeats. But probably 7 times out of 10, I can just post it, move on, because I'll repost on Facebook, I repost on Instagram, but it does suck. It does hurt my my focus. It doesn't help for sure.
I for that reason that I do, like, I have to stay away from them. But the one thing that's kind of helped is using like scheduling apps. But the problem is I found like at least when I was doing it with Instagram, you couldn't do it with like Reels.
It's annoying because you can't use your TikTok's native functions, like using their music and certain sounds and stuff like that. Yeah. You can't save them onto another app. Like, you have to keep them in the TikTok drafts. So you have to keep them on TikTok. So it's really frustrating, but it is what it is. And I see Not Luke says, in the same realm of content creation. Plus, my goal is to be a content creator and a podcast show host. For that, I need people to care about what I'm saying. So in my line of work, it's like necessary for me to do it even more than yours is, because your goal is to be more of an agency business owner, and the content is kind of secondary to that. And so it's not as high on your priority list. So that might be potentially why. But he says, in the same realm of content creation and drive to create, what are some of the biggest motivators aside from the grind set mentality?
For me, it's just the understanding that content is the most valuable thing that you can do.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So Elon Musk said this in a podcast with Lex Fridman. He said, what keeps you motivated? He goes, I don't really look at it like that. He says, I just need to get it done. Like, this is just what needs to happen. And so his thing is a bit bigger than mine. He's trying to save the world and like move us to Mars and stuff. So his is a little bit different life mission. My life mission is just like, look, I want to be free of any kind of restraints on my creativity and content creation. I want to just be able to post stuff. And for me to be able to get to that point, it requires years of posting things and building a brand. So it's just what needs to happen. So I don't have like a motivation thing. It's more just like, and I wouldn't even say it's discipline. It's not really discipline. I have a pretty shitty discipline, honestly. Like, things need to get done, so I just kind of grind them out last second, like college style, where you just procrastinate something and just get it down and you just push it out there.
There's a law for that. It's called Parkinson's law.
Oh God.
So like the law is that a task will get done however it relates to the deadline. So the sooner the deadline, the faster you'll get it done.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
When you set yourself deadlines, and this is like a little hack for business as well. Speed is really important in business. Getting things turned over, having speed of communication, speed of delivery. And the faster you can change your default to, which is really common in fucking businesses, is like, I'll get it done end of week. How can you change that default to how can you get it done end of day, or I will get it done end of day? And then what that does is just forces reprioritization at more of a micro level. So you're constantly like, how do I get things done faster? But you're like, I think Cade, like, when it comes to motivation, the best motivator is success. And you can force yourself to be motivated by just like succeeding at micro things, at micro tasks. And that's what like Cade does. Cade succeeds at creating lots and lots of content. And it's just a fucking wheel. It's a wheel of like, I can do this. I'm capable of doing this. And it just he feeds and feeds and feeds it. And so it's to the level that he's extremely highly skilled. So you stack the skill on top of the fact that he's succeeding at it. That's where a lot of motivation can come from. Unless you're like, for me, my motivation is I want to help as many people on earth. Like, that's my motivation. But I know that only happens, my ability to help influence and impact as many people's lives is dependent on how kind of big I can get, and whatever I'm doing, how big that can get. And I don't know how big that is, but I know that I can help more people doing it that way. And using philanthropy, funding, like funding stuff, than going out into the streets and helping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on the streets.
That's similar to like Tony Robbins said a similar thing. Like, that's why he wanted to blow up, so he could help more and more people. Because he was just like, my stuff's good. It just needs to get more people. And I think mine's similar there. I just need to post more videos, because for me, you're right. It's a direct result of me posting more videos gets me more clients, more videos, more eyes, more business, more everything, more sponsors, more opportunity comes from me posting more. And I know this because I've been doing it for a year almost. Like, it is a fact. And the more videos I post, the more clients I get, the more inbound requests I get for review videos, the closer I get to B list, to B tier. I feel like I'm in C tier right now. The closer I get to B tier, gives me a little bit more room, a little bit more opportunity to delegate, to hire out, to do other things, to upgrade a little bit. And then to the point where you're A list or A tier, where now money is more, it's like, I still look at money as a tool. Like, I do use money as a tool more often than not, but I'm not at the point where I can do whatever I want. But in A tier, you're like, okay, now I have the money at my disposal. Now I can truly do what I've always wanted to do. In C tier, I just didn't have the means to do it. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's just what needs to happen until I can get a sponsor, until I can get a different style of business that isn't reliant on commissions. And then at that point, I'll be able to tap into like stuff I love to do rather than tapping in because I need to get more clients. I'll still have that always. And then I saw this question here. He said there's a just interesting juxtaposition. Well, Jesus, I can't speak. An interesting position. And this will be our last point here before we sign off. But he says, between time and answer of content's king with the mentality of just do it. Could you guys speak on your points a little bit more?
Yeah. So the content is king thing is that when you have, so there's kind of like a pyramid of like different ways that you can make money. At the bottom is you can hire people to do labor for you. You then have a couple of layers up above, and at the top you have like the most profitable things that you can do. Is the top is software, where all you have to do is you make a product once and then you just replicate it fucking millions of times to people, whether it's like an accounting piece of software that you charge $5 a month for, but you only create the software once. And at the top of the pyramid next to it is content, owned media. So you own your media. It's the most valuable thing that you can get in life is people's attention, which is like, that's what we're doing here, right? We're gathering people's attention. They're listening to us, listening to our thoughts. And I've noticed this so much in the last like year specifically. All businesses have leaned so much more into content production. Like
Alex Hormozi, dude, everybody.
Dude, everyone. Like it really is like the game changer. But I'm looking at even traditional media outlets. So I'm looking at sports like sports TV, the way they're leveraging fucking social media, and they're doing so much more behind the scenes. They're giving so much more free content. Like they are going so much more because they know that they just have to get their brand out there. And if their brand is associated with cool, good, free shit, people are more likely to buy their actual service, their paid service. So it's the most valuable thing that I believe like you can do. And then like to the other point was about like the juxtaposition about just do it. The just do it thing is very much like I recognize that content, because it's so valuable, that is why I make it a relative priority. It will become more and more of a priority as I have like capacity to lean into it outside of the business stuff that I'm doing.
And right now you're in grind mode for Summit Club. That's why you've been posting less. Like you're literally in grind mode right now. So
it's the kind of like a period of time, a little period of time where I have to kind of switch my capacity into something else. What I'm doing with Unorthodox and Liam is that, like, and we've spoken about this a lot, is how the content strategy for Unorthodox will help propel the business. And it will be the kind of foundation that sets the business apart from all other like NFT agencies or businesses that are providing services to other brands that are coming to enter the space. It's our ability as content producers and content creators that will set us apart. That's our differentiator. So it's going to be a huge part of our like strategy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually going to be leaning more into that than I am my personal stuff, just because it feeds back into what we're doing in business. But then I'll have a different kind of like focus with my personal content strategy.
Man. It's gonna be fun. I think if you guys are here right now watching Tea Time, it's gonna be funny as fuck in a year, watching seeing where we're at and being able to pull up. Like, I'm so glad we're documenting. Alex Hormozi said this on stage the other day. He says his biggest regret, someone asked him, what's your biggest regret, Alex? And he says that I didn't document better when I was growing. And I was just like, bro, we fucking are gonna destroy everyone who's winning right now. We have got the one thing that they don't have, and that's the perspective of their 20 years ago now. Like, we have the perspective of where they're at right now, but I have 20 years of life on them. And Gary Vee says this enough to where it's so true in my head, but I don't know if people really understand, like when they say you have 20 years on someone. That's a very long time. Do you know how much shit happens in 20 years? And we literally are going to be aware of things that Gary Vee just found out about in the last few years and is beginning to add. And we're going to have 20 years of the actual documenting of the process. And then when I'm Gary's age, at that point, we'll have even more knowledge. And then I'm sure there will be something else that I wish I had done 20 years ago. But either way, like, we're just going to be more and more. Like, that's why, like, innovation just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks, because it always gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then East's Lifestyle says, wouldn't that affect your quality of output? I think he was talking about when I like procrastinate everything till the very end. You're right. It probably does affect the quality of output, except not for me. I'm very high level editor because I've been editing for 10 years, so I can get shit done fast when I need to. And I don't really stop till it's done anyway. So like if it's 3 a.m, I'm just going to finish it, and it's going to, however long it takes, I'm still going to finish it. And I don't really put it out unless I'm happy with it. Like every single video on my YouTube channel, I would never delete any of them because they're all good enough. They're all They're all high level enough. I still agree with what I said. There's something I say that I'm like, I wish I didn't say that. And so I don't know. It doesn't really affect my output as much. Sometimes for me, it's more just like, why did I waste 6 hours? I could have done that and then had 6 hours to do something else, but it doesn't even matter. So my definition of success. Tom, do you want to go first?
So there's been like there's a TikTok floating around where someone asks like, what is the meaning of life? And the guy goes, I'll sum it up in 5 words, and it's the enjoyment of the passage of time. Like that to me is success. I linked to the meaning of life. Like, are you enjoying what you're doing right now? Like, absolutely. I tell
no. Get me the fuck out of here.
This is it. People ask me like, why do I do why would I do this every week? And it's like, because I love it. Like, I fucking love it.
It's fun.
Like, it's a fun thing that I do. I'm not doing anything else on a Wednesday evening, so it's an amazing thing just to be able to hang and shoot the shit with a really good friend and document our journey, talk about the kind of stuff that we're doing, talk about the stuff that we're looking forward to doing. And I also think about the flip side. I think about the times when I've been the happiest in my life, and it is always social situations. It's like, exactly. It's like,
this that was New York, by the way, guys.
That was like that week in New York. Those are like the peak moments in my life. So there's social like circumstances in my life where, yeah, just
Andres.
And that's what it comes down to. But I bust my ass here in my little house so that I get the kind of the pleasure of being able to do those things. Fly across the world in a fucking tin can and go and hang out with like my best friends. When it comes down to it, it's like you kind of have to have the different levels in your life to appreciate all of the cool stuff that you end up doing. What that allows you to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that same category of definition there for success. I just need to enjoy it. Like right now, everything's fine. Like for me, when they say like money doesn't solve all your issues, I feel like I'm in and I don't know, I won't know this till I have the level of money that will give me that perspective. But I've dealt with most of my emotional shit, a lot of it, to the point where I'll tell you the story. I hope she's not watching this, but I went on a date with this girl. And like 2 days ago or yesterday, I think I put this in the chat.
3 years ago.
So it was like 2 days ago. And God, do I really want to put this in the internet?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give a watered down version of this. So I was just a few minutes in and I realized, God, I hope she doesn't see this. It's kind of mean. I didn't really want to be there. Like very early on in, and I was just kind of like, oh shit. The problem is I'm a podcaster, so I'm really good at interviewing. So it basically just turned into me like turning on my podcast mic, and I was like, oh, here we go. I'm gonna use my skill as a podcast host, as an interviewer, and just make this date still work. And we also smoked a blunt like halfway through, which was the mistake. I forgot how I got so high. I got so beyond high. That was part of the reason I didn't want to be there, because I was just so high. But I was still able to make it work. But anyways, like what I noticed was like, and this isn't really on her. This is more just in dates in general. When you meet people in general, the reason it's hard to make new friends sometimes is because a lot of times people just have baggage and they just dump it on you. And like, I just don't need more baggage, right? And this 100% isn't really on her. This is more just people in general. This is why I'm turned off on dates. This is probably the main reason I didn't want to be there. It's because like I have this mentality toward other people that sometimes sucks when I meet new people. Is that I'm just like waiting for the baggage to hit me, and so I almost close myself off like immediately. And I think it's probably from like an ex-girlfriend, like it was something similar to that. And so this isn't really for her. I see Philip saying stop. So let me say this again. This is not really on her. This is just in general. This is like a me problem. This is probably like my biggest baggage.
This is a reflection of like challenges that you face, right?
Yeah, challenges I face. So like
it's really important because like we we've all been there. We've all been on dates where that with you were with that person for the first time and it was like, fuck, like, yeah, it's, within seconds or whatever, you're like,
yeah. Well, also we don't have any, like she does this other, she has this job that's like nothing remotely close to what I'm doing. She's not thinking about the same things I'm thinking about. And so I noticed this, like Layla Hormozbis on like a video. She was like, if you want to get a girlfriend, go on 35 dates and then come back and say you still like do or don't want a girlfriend. But you have to go and do the dates. So that's kind of how I've been looking at dates recently. Let me just go and do a bunch of them and like see if I've been right this whole time, see if this is actually what I want. And I think I'm just going to stop going on like dates like that, like random off the cuff, like Bumble, you know, online dating is. I'd rather just meet them. Like I've always, all my successful relationships have come naturally out of like a job, or we met somewhere while doing something else and we happen to meet there and have that in common, able to talk there. But the goal wasn't to like meet up and like learn about each other. Like every time I've gone on one of those dates, it never has worked. And that's just how it's always been. But that's probably my biggest baggage, is I instantly get turned off. Like, it's not good. Like as soon as I meet, for example, I'll match with someone on Tinder or something, right? The second we match, I'm not interested. Or the second they like, I get a message back, I'm not interested. But it's like the thrill of like, we got it, and then it's like, all right, I'm not interested. Like I actually don't want the
Pokemon. It's like Pokemon Go, but the real life version.
Yeah, I think I just not really interested in actually attaining it. It's just more to see if I
collecting numbers. You're just collecting.
Yeah, and
collecting cards. It's like literally like, it's like you're swiping, you're getting the next card. You're like, yeah, I fucking got it.
Yeah, dude, but it's kind of like fucked, because like part of me like wants a relationship, but then I'm like, you know what? Actually, I don't think this is really what I want, and maybe it's just the right person. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I just was not interested. It was weird. It was really weird. But
it's funny you say this, because for the outsiders looking in, you're renowned as like you're like the guy that like all the girls want in the NFT space. Like, you know, your audience is like 97.9% female. And,
okay, this is not true.
This is absolutely true. I've seen your demographics data. I know it's true.
On TikTok, it's definitely more girls, but not on YouTube. YouTube is like 98% dudes.
There are some girls. There are girls lusting over you. Your DMs must be flooded with inbounds.
They're not, bro. I promise you, they're not. They're really not. It's like in the fitness industry, like there's like all these like super attractive dudes. They're like, yo, like bring the girls. They're like, bro, it's just dudes in my DMs. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, so the Web3 world has a decent split, but it's definitely 9 out of 10 people are dudes. And as far as like inbound requests, bro, they're literally all fucking companies or NFT projects like shilling me on some bullshit. So, but what was I gonna say? I don't know where I was gonna go with that. Tom stunned me there. There was some comment I was going to bring up a second ago before we check out, but let's see, where's it at? Oh yeah, so just on the last point of baggage, like for me, I know I have baggage. I think everyone's got baggage. It's just I've seen what it does when you dump it on someone else. It doesn't get solved, and so when I feel the baggage being dumped on me from someone else, I instantly get turned off, for one. But also, like the type of baggage I have doesn't weigh on someone else. Like it's all on me, and I'm aware that it's on me. And so I try my very best to not project any of it on them. But I think because I don't do that, I take it to the extreme and don't like put anything on them. Like I don't offer any kind of vulnerability so much. Like I'll get vulnerable on things that I would even be vulnerable on, like saying on camera, like that level of vulnerability, which isn't that vulnerable, right? Like some things I will share online, but it doesn't feel that vulnerable because I'm just sharing a story that happened in the past or an emotion I used to feel that I don't really anymore. And that kind of vulnerability isn't that deep. And you know, that's effective on first dates though, because you know, it's like you're like dangling a carrot in front of them. So like it's bad. It's like really effective on first dates if that's what you're trying to, if you're an Andrew Tate type of person, it's like the most effective way to date is to just not offer a whole bunch, not be like a dick, but you're just not offering a whole lot. And so they almost like want it more. And so it's really effective for that. I just don't have any interest in that kind of dating. I have no interest in sleeping around, no interest at all in that. And like at the end of the date, I was just like, okay, bye. Like, I was just like, I just want to be out of there. Like, I just don't know what it is. So you guys just seeing success on YouTube, but the romantic life, it's not there for me, bro. I'm just not interested. Like you got a girlfriend already. I envy you every day, bro. You got that thing locked down.
I'm very, very lucky, and yeah, I know how tough it is out there, but I think you got a long road ahead of you. And just the way I look at dating is that you should look at it as an experience. Like this is why I always when I was dating, I'd always make sure it was like it was a fun thing. Like, and you're just sharing like a fun time with someone new, and just you know, and then taking away the whole aspect of like, okay, where's this going to go? Just try and have a fun night, get fucked up, and just try and enjoy it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why it's better to meet them naturally, because you have like if you meet them somewhere and you go on another date, like you already have something in common. With like online dating, it's just always been more difficult because you show up and there might not be anything in common. Like that's kind of the reason. Like with that date, I was just like, oh shit, like we don't have anything in common. And I've done that before. I've gone that route of dating someone because they were really hot, but like we had nothing in common. Like if we weren't having sex, like there wasn't anything we do that's fun together. That's like not just hanging out or like having sex or like just doing something like that. We don't have any hobbies in common. Our interests are very different. Like maybe even like political, religious, like all the things are like very different.
Sure.
And I've done that. And like, I feel like I've checked off the box of like dating someone who's like way out of my league, and it just wasn't worth it after a while. Like after a few months, it's kind of like, man, I'm getting dragged through the mud right now. This is not good. This is not sustainable. So yeah, guys, this is not financial advice. Don't tell these girls these things.
This is not relationship advice.
Don't find this girl and tell her all the things I just said. I feel like a dick now saying that online.
You haven't said anything bad. Don't worry about it.
It's a me issue, bro. It's literally me. It's me. It's not her.
Kate, it's not you, Jenny.
It's me, not her. Sorry, Jenny. So anyways, that guys, I think that's going to wrap up tea time, unless there's anything else you want to say. Take a girl rock climbing. That's a good date. That's a good date.
Yeah.
I'm not even in that mindset, bro. Like, I don't care. I don't want to take them on a rock climbing date. I just have no interest. Like, that girl was hot. That girl was hot. Every girl I've gone on a date with is hot. I just don't like want to. I don't know what it is.
This I don't know. It sounds like you're. I don't know what it is, but like, the whole point is like, yeah, just have fun. The rock climbing thing is having fun.
Dude, yeah, I just want to skip all the dating parts. I just want to know someone, and I think for that you have to like work there or like go to attend like a class together that you've been attending for a while, and you get to know them as a person, and then you can kind of jump into that next stage or something like that. But just the whole like finding new friends out of nowhere and like making all that happen. Kate's in monk mode. I think I might be, dude. I just have no interest in doing stuff.
Kate is in monk mode. This is the most accurate comment of the evening. Kate is definitely in monk mode.
Yeah, because even a little bit into the date where I was like, okay, we don't have much in common. What about like what if this is like a casual thing? Would that be something I'm interested in? And I was just in my head just thinking, no, nope. This is the best part. This is the best part about being a YouTuber for me, is that like I have zero sex drive, Tom. Like less than zero when I'm not in a relationship. When I'm in a relationship, oh my God, it's bad. It's really bad.
It's like
I'm not in one. I have none.
An IndyCar 500 like engine, 3,000 revs per minute.
Oh God, no! I just don't like when I'm not in a relationship and I don't have feelings of like I want you so bad right now. I have less than 0% interest, which is why it's been really effective for YouTube and like going to play college soccer, because I had no distractions. Like I don't think with my dick. I don't chase people like that because I don't really want that. And so it's been really helpful there, like with YouTube, especially like coming to this new city and not wasting all my time and energy chasing stuff with like no reward. Like at the end of a hookup, you're just kind of sitting there like, and that shit is not fun for me. That shit is not fun at all. So I just, after a few of those, I was like, this isn't worth it anymore. It's not it. He says, you're attracting the women you are interested in. Go find the right peeps in the right space. I had the issue too. I've been single for 6 years now. Yeah. I think you find the right people in the right places. So you go to the places that you're at. The problem is I'm here in this room.
Yeah.
So
but you're like,
I need an airdrop. Someone airdrop me a wife.
This is, yeah, Caleb knows what's up. This is like, this is just a season in your life, right? Like you're in a year, 2 years time, if you're traveling, when you're meeting people. But right now we're in our houses, in our bedrooms, in our mum's basements, just fucking grinding it out. And yeah, it's going to be that way for a little bit for both of us. And then, yeah, the idea is that we slowly migrate out of that. And it sounds like you've got ambitions to go and explore the world, and you're going to fucking have some fun time with people and meet exciting. You're going to have some awesome times. Sure. So it's in your future, and very like soon to be. So that's the exciting thing. So I'm with you. I think like monk mode is a real thing. You know, it is monk mode season. It's grind season. Dude,
I was literally thinking like before I was walking to go meet her, I was like, man, it's too bad. Like Like, I just want to like sit here and like be like, if I could just like be with someone, but like I would rather just like read this book right now. Like I was like, why can't I just, like, why can't that be like the date? But then I was like, I don't know this person. So yeah, I just yeah, no interest in that kind of thing. I don't know. Let me know if you guys understand that at all. I know some people were saying that they relate. I know some people probably are like, you don't think with your dick? What else do you think with? Like, I know that's half the dudes in here. Half the dudes I know in high school were like that too. Like, well, not half, 90% of them thought with their dick. And I think that's an issue. If you're trying to get with a girl, I think thinking with your dick actually does more harm than good. Unless you just want to be an Andrew Tate, I guess then it could be effective. But yeah, if you're top G, it can work. If you're not top G and you're pretending to be top G, that's a different story. So, anyways, guys, I think it's gonna bring tea time to a close. The last 15 minutes was, I don't even know how that came up.
I don't know how it came up, but all I do know is that there is a top G in the NFT space, and his name is
Nate.
Nate.
Yep. Said the same. It's Nate, 100%. If you're not following top G NFT Nate, you're doing it wrong. And so we're gonna leave you with this last thing right here. If you haven't already, make sure you're following Tom on Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. If you Ukraine, I will be doing a giveaway for the Dropouts NFT soon. I've done a giveaway. If you're an NFT access key holder, you can pretty much have whitelist for that. I have enough to where I can give it to you if you want it, if you're an access key holder. And then so just make sure you jump into Discord to claim that. And otherwise, the remaining will be dished out over the public Discord and my Twitter. So make sure you follow me there for more. And the date story will bring it up, Cade. My date story? But why did I bring up the date story? I don't know. Anyways, all right, Tom, do you want to close us out with your little outro here? Because Summer Club is fucking what's happening right now?
It is, yeah. If you guys want to actually, like, we're about to head into the Summit Club to do a nice little just hang in the voice chat. So
yeah,
come and join us
there for a little bit.
Summit Labs Discord. But yeah, as you guys know, the summit is infinite. We are just here to help each other climb.
Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. Smash like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Join the kingdom. Peace.